What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MLG Studios here in New York City. My name is axeltoss. I am joined by axslav, and you're watching the Winter Exhibition. We're trying to find out who the last semi-finalist is going to be. Marine King, Bly, and someone. Terran, no? A Protoss. Hero.
Protoss, yeah.
Hero.
CG Hero.
Thanks for having my back there, Nick. No, they're already in the semifinals, so we're trying to find out that last spot. We're going to find out today who's going to go on to play Hero in one of the semifinals, which will be concluding this week. Of course, Wednesday we're going to have semifinal A, Thursday semifinal B, and Friday will be the grand final of the Winter Exhibition, where the winner will take home $1,000. Second place gets $500. That being said, we're currently tied up 1-1 between Thorzain and Creator. Should we go to Game 3? Oh, we should mention YouTube really quick before we get into Game 3. YouTube.com/officialmlgse2. If you missed anything that you see on stream, you can check out the VOD. 1080p, it's there. Everything is there, every single game, and also some extra stuff. You got your rules of engagement stuff up there, and comments of the day, top fives.
A lot of cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
If you're at home and you're like, gosh, I want to watch StarCraft, but nothing good is on, YouTube.com/officialmlgse2. All the StarCraft 2 content you could ever want is right there. I promise.
You know what? Why don't we start making some more content for that YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Game number 3, Thorzain, just took that second game to tie things up. A Creator, of course, won that first one. This map is Daybreak, and this is, I think it's going to be a historically map Thorzain usually favors because in those late game engagements, they're typically unidirectional. It's very hard to get that massive multi-angle attack that we saw Creator utilize to win that Cloud Kingdom game, which is going to be great for Thorzain.
And here we are in the game number 3 between these two fellows. In the top right-hand location, we have the red Protoss player from Team Prime, currently tied with his opponent, one apiece. He is Creator. And his opponent in the bottom left, trying to make an upset of sorts happen. Some call him the King of the North, representing evil geniuses, and hailing from Sweden. He is Thorzain, one of the foreigner hopes that exists in the world, I would say. Definitely considered one of the best foreigners out there.
He is. He is. He's more inconsistent than I think some of the other top foreigners. Like if you compare him to like a Nanua or a Stefano, sometimes you'll see Thorzain, go out early in a tournament where it's very rare to see Nanua or Stefano do that. But on the other hand, we've also seen Thorzain knock out world-class Koreans before, and I mean he's won a DreamHack, right? So he's insanely good, insanely good. We saw that he held that attack very convincingly last game, and I was worried because I've seen a lot of Terrans, even with 3 bunkers, lose to that attack. I think what helped them is how fast those medevacs got out, because normally you don't have medevacs in time for that. And those help a surprising amount, just healing the SCVs that are in the front, recovering that stim damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, he got that natural so crazy fast compared to his opponent. Creator was investing a lot into a couple Stalkers and Militia Corps, and every little second counts in StarCraft 2. Thorzain had a nice economy going into the end early game, not the early game, but like the end of the early game where you're kind of transitioning into the mid game, and of course that enables him to set up very nicely for that scary stuff that Creator was sending towards him. So we'll see what happens in this game. Thorzain already doing something a little bit different here, taking that early first gas. It could be just for a Reaper. He might try to go for a faster factory, but we're not going to know until this probe is gone. And now we should start being able to tell what's going to happen. It's going to be a fast factory here from Thorzain.
I was almost thinking he might be thinking about proxying it, but Thorzain very rarely proxies buildings. He's now going to be scouting out Creator. As soon as he sees the 1 gas from Creator and the fact that the Chrono Boost has been being used on the probe, so it's not going to be all used on the Warp Gate, he's going to know exactly what's going on. A standard 1-gate expansion. Nothing for Thorzain to worry about, which is nice, because one of the dangers of doing a tech build with a later command center is that sometimes when you're busy sending your units out to harass, your Widow Mines, your Hellions, your Medevac drop, your Banshee, whatever it is, it's hard to defend your natural back at home at the same time if the Protoss has aggressive options like DTs, like Oracles. But seeing the fact that Creator's only 1 gas, Thorzain has to breathe a sigh of relief as he knows that he'll be the one who has the aggressive options, at least for the first 6 minutes of this game.
So I think we're going to see Marine Widow Mine drop here, which can be very scary for the Protoss player. It's going to be up to them to scout out what's going on, and it's scary for a number of different reasons. For those of you who are relatively new to Heart of the Swarm, the Widow Mine, it basically burrows and then shoots off a missile. And if you don't have detection, you can't see the Widow Mine. You can't get rid of it. So if Creator plays a style that you know, delays any sort of detection, this could be very, very, very scary. Like you got to have that observer out. And if Thorzain can get inside its opponent's main base with the Marines and the Widow Mine, and can burrow the Widow Mine, he can get a lot of kills in a short amount of time.
He definitely can, but Creator, knowing that Thorzain has that gas, is aware of the possibility. We can see here he's already built one pylon on the left side of his base. That's going to give him a little bit of extra second of heads up of what Thorzain is up to. He's also getting the robotics very fast and the mothership core. So we'll have observers out, we'll have the mothership core, which probably won't have photon overcharge, but it can use its basic attack, which is quite effective as well. So I think Creator is making all the correct steps to defend this very well.
Even as a probe there in the middle top of the map, looking for those proxy shenanigans, of course, he's going to be able to spot a medevac. Even sooner is very close to scouting these Widow Mines, but Creator just out of the edge of being able to see those. So still going to be a little bit in the dark, but his observer is on the way. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how he's able to deal with this. There's 2 Stalkers and a Sentry in his main base, but if you don't see the medevac and that Widow Mine gets down, it can be... You can lose a lot of probes, again, very, very quickly.
You definitely can. Marines are trying to attack at the front to distract Creator. Meanwhile, the medevac is coming into the back. There is a mothership core, a Stalker. The Widow Mines are being dropped into midline. First one goes down.
Does end up... No, it does not end up getting burrowed. The second one does burrow. Not sure how many kills it got.
Yeah, I think only 2 probe kills.
We have 3 workers killed here for Thorzain. Of course, one was that probe from a little bit earlier, so definitely not worth it, I don't think, there from Thorzain.
I mean, there are just 2 things to consider. First is he lost 2 Widow Mines for that, which alone wouldn't be worth it. But then the bigger issue is the fact that he actually lost effectively about 8 SCVs in production time. It's not as bad as losing 8 SCVs because he didn't pay 400 minerals to buy them, but he's basically 8 SCVs behind where he would ideally be because of the fact that his expansion was a full about 2 minutes later than it could have been.
All right, we'll see what happens here. You know, the good news is he has a starport already on the field, so he's already going to have medevacs. Yeah, like his tech is great, and he's going to try to be scary, continue to be scary. He's going to have 2 Widow Mines inside a medevac heading to the middle right-hand side of the map. But Creator should be aware of these possibilities. He should have his units in position to potentially deal with this. He has a forge on the way, so he might even consider placing a cannon here or there. That might be a worthwhile investment at this point in the game. In order to help deal with that scary stuff from Thorzain.
There's a lot of options Creator has. Thorzain choosing to go double tech lab on his additional barracks to really crank out combat shield and stim at the same time. Now comes in that drop plane to the back of the natural. How will Creator react?
Let's see, the probes aren't being pulled just yet. The Widow Mine's able to get down. The probes trying to run. Great shot there on the probes. That was about 7 or 8. Up to 12 workers killed there for Thorzain.
And he's picking them both up and escaping, so he didn't even lose them. He got a Zealot as well there, which of course is a nice little blow. I mean, Thorzain needed that. He needed that to really equalize the situation.
Yes.
And now going forward, he has to be happy because he knows on economic terms, he's roughly even with his opponent now relative to how a normal game would have progressed. And he's got medevacs out, Stim and combat shield are finishing up, double E-bases on the way. The one thing he does have to be careful of is that Creator both has a good number of observers out in the field. He's got 1 over on, he's got 3, so he's got 1 over on Thorzain's side of the map, 1 in his natural, and then there's probably 1 in his main to spot Widow Mines. So he has a good amount of tech of his own as far as observers go, and he has Templar tech already ready.
Now starting to add on those additional gateways, pretty much a staple to 2-base play. You got to have at least 6 gateways. 6 warp gates, so you can make plenty of High Templars and Zealots if you need to. Storm has not yet started here, which is a little bit interesting here from Creator, making 1 High Templar just in case he needs to feedback, and he's very close. I think, would that kill the medevac?
Right now, well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, medevac with basically 3 force energy or higher dies to a feedback. Of course, medevacs can have up to 200 energy. They have 140 hit points. Yep. That Templar is just waiting to see that medevac. If Thorzain wants to use that medevac, he has to first create a distraction, maybe during an attack. Then it's much... Oh, in fact, he could... Look at this. He's loading up a drop over here. It's possible that when Creator's distracted, the other medevac could strike.
I'm not sure if Creator sees this. He's posturing around. I think he has an idea. It's there. There's the feedback onto the medevac, so definitely knows what's going on. Thorzain saying, okay, I'll back away. He was looking to see if there's an angle to drop the other medevac, but didn't see any opening at all. Decided to stay back, stay safe, and just keep the threat there. Because yes, the medevac's kind of countered,
but it's only countered because there's a Templar who's also just sitting there, and a Templar isn't really providing value outside of that. So it's not like the medevac's a total waste here. Now Thorzain's looking to maybe slow down Creator's third base.
Gosh, we have medevacs everywhere here from Thorzain, dropping some units outside that third base. There's not a lot here. Creator gonna have to send some units down there. 3 Zealots, a Sentry, and an Archon is his unit composition of choice. Meanwhile, posturing around with the squadron there, just outside of his opponent's main base, and still has that medevac in the top right. But for now, Creator doing a great job not overcommitting to either of these locations. He has a very good idea of what his opponent is up to.
Thorzain's only activating a single drop at a time, it seems like so far. The ones at the top is now poking in. Is he going to commit?
He's scanning the main base.
Oh, he saw it. Yeah, he sees a Templar there. He sees all the units, and he knows he can't get anything done there. He was also checking with the top right medevac. He's waiting. He's waiting for an opportunity. Meanwhile, though, it's not like he has to do damage to win this game. Of course, his own third is turning to an orbital right now. His 2/2 upgrades are started. And, of course, the ghosts are starting to be produced. And we know how deadly Thorzain is once he gets those ghosts out in the field.
Oh, yeah. Assuming he doesn't miscontrol them. You know, ghosts from Thorzain can be very, very scary. Of course, got 2/2.
He's collecting all his medevacs.
Yeah. Where are they? Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Over at the top here. He's got 4 full medevacs.
This is so scary.
And, of course, Creator, first he scanned to make sure there was no observers. So Creator doesn't know this. So Creator is still spread, anticipating multiple attacks. The majority of Creator's forces are at the third base. Attacking him could be devastating, but remember, that Templar now has an energy for 2 feedbacks. And 2 feedbacks could cripple this drop.
Yeah, we'll have to see how fast Creator's response time will be. Again, doesn't have an observer over this squadron of medevacs, but he kind of has an idea because there are 2 medevacs from before, so which is obviously why he has all these units in the main base. So again, a dangerous prospect there. Thorzain gonna be scouting with that factory. All right, what's my opponent's unit composition at this third base? Is there an opening in the main? But for now, Thorzain deciding, okay, I'll just back away for now, go to my watchtower, and try to think of a game plan.
If you can spot that observer, that would be a big win, because right now Creator knows where a sizable chunk of Thorzain's army is. As a Terran, you never want your Protoss to know where your forces are. Part of the game is making the Protoss spread around and guess where you're going to strike, and it's so key to take out those observers. Right now, Creator knows Thorzain's on the bottom portion of the map, and so Creator can focus his efforts there as well.
All right, another scan going down.
Oh, we took out that observer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so, but there's another one. Creator's so good with his observers, always has one observer on his opponent's army, or at least one nearby, to know exactly. Oh, that one goes down as well.
There's only 1 observer remaining here for Creator. He's trying to gather up his army outside of his
2/2 is about to finish.
Thorzain trying to hit a 2/2 timing here, and it's about to finish, as you said. We also got +1 air on the way, just in case that Colossi transition happens. And Creator is in the middle of that Colossi transition. He has 2 Colossus in production. His thermal lance on the way, but without those Colossus here, there could be a tiny timing for Thorzain to get some damage done, considering he has a lot of ghosts in this composition.
Feedback takes out that one.
Oh,
finally, that one at the top right. Yeah, went down. It didn't. That was happened so fast.
I'm focusing on this tense
30 seconds to react.
standoff.
Thorzain, though, he thinks he's missing his timing. Now there's the Colossi coming out, and once those Colossi come out, Thorzain can't really advance until he gets his Viking count up. I actually think it's too late now.
Yeah.
He's scanning again. He's trying to find a high Templar. The reason why he's not going in is because his scans are telling him there's no Templar. But Thorzain says, wait a minute.
No such
I know there's Templar,
yeah.
right? And so if you don't know where they are, it's very risky for a Terran to commit to a battle. It's going to cancel his fourth.
Now he sees everything. Creator thinking he has a timing coming forward here. Thorzain might be a little bit vulnerable. His army is split up a little bit.
It is, and there's only a single Colossus with no range yet, but that still does provide some help. 4 Templar with max energy as well. 1 Ghost sacrificing itself to buy time for the rest of Thorzain's army to retreat. Will it be enough? Thorzain's going to hold top of the ramp, and yeah, Creator. Oh, the Colossi, they walked the wrong way. The Vikings got only a couple hits there, so not that big a deal.
Okay, so Thorzain's going to back away, not comfortable. He can deal with the Colossi at this point in time. Zealot counterattack here from Creator. Took out a Ghost and a couple Marines a little bit earlier. Now attacking some add-ons, going to be going into the main base as well. Thorzain going to retreat to try to deal with this. Meanwhile, Creator going to be posturing across the map as well. Again, with those added Colossi, does that mean he has a timing? Looks like he just wants to get some momentum on the map and secure that 3rd base. Or 4th base, excuse me. Or 5th base even. He's taking the 4th at the bottom right. I'm wondering if he's going to try to take a Nexus in the middle as well.
He very well might. Creator is nearing max, and he's got a decent amount of money banked up. He's also adding more and more gateways to his competition. That's something that Protoss really wants, is to be able to remax very quickly in those late game engagements, to warp in more and more units to support their army as the battle continues. Creator is trying to basically establish some of the map. You can see there he's building pylons in the middle. He's now adding cannons so he can help him against Cloak Ghost. Thorzain might be looking to put on some pressure. Will he get that observer kill?
They're the Vikings.
Observers are so important to pick off this stage of PvP.
Does he have cloak? Do we know?
There's no cloak done yet.
Okay.
But for knowing where his units are. Actually, Thorzain, we could have a repeat of last game if he gets himself stuck in this bottom right corner. Okay, he's going to back away. Going up that ramp would probably be a mistake. 2 Zealots, a little bit of annoyance over. Oh, that does get taken out without a problem. Thorzain's going to try to push up here. This is a brave angle to push. Taking out 2 Templar, though.
This is similar to an angle we saw in the Cloud Kingdom game. Just going up a little corridor in the corner part of the map. And Thorzain going to try to press his advantage here, poking for it a little bit.
Creator going for the flank,
he's going to go for it, sending some units across the back. The Ghosts are clumped up. Colossi trying to get that damage done, but the Vikings targeting that. The Colossi Storms went down underneath the Vikings. The Vikings coming in from every single angle here for Thorzain, and he's up 165 to 125 in supply. He's going to continue surging forward. There's no way this 4th base is going to survive. Great engagement from Thorzain.
Creator has to sacrifice that. I was worried for Thorzain when he was backed into a corner, but the EMPs were good. Only a single storm landed. He had enough medevacs to withstand that storm. And of course, you know, the piles. Oh, great snipes. And Thorzain showing his ghost micro.
Yeah, a great micro there from Thorzain. He's essentially maxed his opponents at 141 in supply. Creator adding on 2 more Colossi. Thorzain not adding on any more Vikings, feeling comfortable with his Viking count for now. But Creator, if there's an advantage he might have, he knows exactly where his opponent is, so he might try to prevent his opponent from retreating. There's a scan, sees a High Templar, sees another one, 2 nearly full energy High Templars getting sniped away there from Thorzain. Creator has to be more careful with the positioning, though the Stalker's going to blink here to the side. Thorzain coming in from the left-hand side and from the right-hand side, trying to get a superior concave, still up by about 40 in supply, and Creator is going to have to retreat.
He's on the retreat now. 1 more Colossus joining the fray, but there's almost no Zealots to support it. The Stalkers get mowed down quickly. The Vikings return to the action.
No High Templars either, at least none with energy. Some being morphed in, but morphed into Archons. Creator definitely a little bit scared here. Keep in mind behind this, Thorzain taking a 4th base, so he can be more willing to trade, considering his opponent is only on 3 bases. Creator has yet to re-secure a 4th base. Perhaps in the middle here would be a good decision at this point, but Thorzain's going to back away for now, knowing that point has that factory, watching that location, but now Creator going to try to reset that up, but just like that, Thorzain turning around. Looks like he wants to try to go for another engagement.
Fresh Ghosts have been added into Thorzain's army. That's going to give him additional EMPs to utilize against the Archon heavy force that Creator is showing right now. Of course, EMP is very useful against Archons. Thorzain skirmishing with a small group of units, being afraid to commit his whole force in case of Templars flanking from either side when he heads down that ramp. Of course, Creator trying to be a little bit annoying with a single Zealot on the left side. 1-on-1. Ghost does take that Zealot out, though.
Yeah, was able to kill the SCV. That was making the command center at first, but Thorzain not going to be too annoyed by that and just going to start rebuilding that. The Ghost coming forward.
Oh, 1 Cloak Ghost.
Cloak. There is an observer, apparently. Oh, sneaking in from the back.
I love how Thorzain just sending 1 of the Ghosts. Imagine we sent all of them. That would have
scanned the Viking taking down the observer. Was that the only observer here for Creator? It might be. He's starting to back away. I think there's only 1 High Templar here. We got to be careful. Got to look out for that. Creator going to try to engage here. Has a great concave, but Thorzain again laying down those EMPs. The Ghost not cloaking up just yet. The Vikings targeting down the Colossi. Only 1 left. But Thorzain continuing to press forward onto his opponent, trying to keep this expansion from going up. Creator going to be turning around, trying to engage, but so much bio here and so many medevacs healing every single one of these units. Thorzain is going to stim forward. He hasn't lost much at all, and there's the GG from Creator. Thorzain with way too much, able to slaughter Creator in game number 3.
What a well-played game by Thorzain there. I mean, even when he got stuck in the corner, he said, you know what? I'll focus on my EMPs as long as I make sure that not too many Templar get in range.
Yeah.
Of course, I had the medevac count to prevail if I can get rid of those guys. And man, taking out that bottom right base, and from there on out, you know, he just would be able to reinforce faster than Creator.
Thorzain is playing quite well. Of course, he lost game 1, but now he's on a 2-game winning streak, which means he's 1 win away from taking this series. But Creator obviously is not going to be one to give up. He played a great game as well, but I think you're right. It came down to not being able to secure that 4th base. Thorzain did a great job denying that while getting a 4th command center up back home, adding on additional command centers as the game went along, and of course, great Ghost control. We saw so many High Templars pretty much negated by great EMPs, great snipes, and when you can do that as a Terran player, and all your opponent has is Colossi as area of effect damage, it's not going to be fun, especially when Thorzain had as many Vikings as he did. So, again, great game there from Thorzain. He's going to be up 2-1 in this best of 5s. Guys, stay tuned. Game 4 is coming up.